What's up, nerds? I'm Tiri. Welcome back to my show. I don't know what's up with the lighting in here today. We'll see how it comes out, but I'm sorry if it's weird. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. I know I am so far, thanks to you guys showing up to my stream last night. It was so much fun. We were raiding Mogashan Vaults in World of Warcraft. We're still working on normal mode because we don't raid nearly as much as a lot of other guilds do. But we're doing good. We got to the Spirit Kings, so that was good times, and I just wanted to let you guys know, you guys make it 10 times more fun for me. Also, some of you had really good tips and ideas, and I really appreciate that most of you are constructive rather than trolling, because I really don't like to be trolled. I get my feelings hurt. I'm sensitive. I appreciate those of you that were awesome and helpful and encouraging, and I love all the grats across the screen when we succeed. Yeah, on to business. So I've been linking all of these videos from MMO Champion with the new scenarios and all the good stuff. Well, now I'm going to link in the description below a list of like all of the scenarios. You can click on them and see the page for each one, all in a nice little bundle if you're more of a reader type of learner. This is the weirdest thing, too, that I didn't read about at all before patch 5.1 came out. And I've been playing my druid. She's my second tune that I'm leveling up on my off time when Tiri, my main, has her dailies done and all that good stuff. But, so I'm running around on her, and my main spec is healing. So I kind of rediscovered, after already knowing from the past, that the trees don't catch on fire when you stand by a fire that you would cook at. And they don't even burn, like, you know, like if you're on a mount or if you're standing there and your dress gets in it or something. If you're a Tirinei, you go, ooh! Cracks me up. The trees don't burn. And I'm like, what? Why don't the trees burn? Now they do. As a 5.1, the trees will burn. So if you're in treant form, I don't know about the ugly Muppet one, but if you're glyphed for treant form, because it's way better, and you should be, and you're standing by a fire, you will catch on fire, and it goes up like it naturally would, obviously somewhat cartoony style, the tree, and before you know it, you're totally on fire. The tree seems to be unaffected. The tree apparently doesn't have feelings, but you're a druid, you're master of the elements. Well, aside from shaman, your closest thing to master of the elements. So I thought that was pretty funny. Cool little cosmetic thing they added into the game. I'll have the most recent patch notes and hotfixes in the description as usual. I'm pretty sure I linked them in my last video, but not all of you watch all of my videos, so I will have that in there. There's lots of class changes. There's been a big change to the way the looking for raid queuing system works. It's almost exactly like the 5-man queuing system. When they came out with looking for raid, I was very surprised when it showed up and told me how many bosses the group that I was queuing into had killed. That it told me, this is 2 of 6. Do you want to join? Yes or no? Accept or cancel. What the hell ever it says. And I'm okay. I liked it, but I also definitely understand why they're completely removing that aspect of the looking for raid queuing system. So now when you queue up, you will get a message saying, we found a group for you. And you accept it, and then you find out where they're at. This is to help eliminate people from having to wait for a half an hour to get people to replace other people in their group because the people left after a wipe or two and thought they were too good for it. There's a lot of people out there that won't join an in-progress group because they assume it's going to be fail. They're not always going to be fail. I've gotten into some really good in-progress groups before. It just depends on if the fail people thought they were awesome and they're the ones that left. Which that does happen. I think that we just need to finish our raids. Stick with it, finish it, and there won't be an issue. Now, there's still going to be people leaving, of course, but if you join an in-progress group, the chances of you getting a fresh run when you re-queue, when you're done with that in-progress group, are extremely high. They do take that into account when you're queuing up and you've completed some of the later bosses to prevent you from getting it again on the same bosses that you've already killed. So it shouldn't be a big deal. There's definitely some raging going on about it on the forums, but I think that once people see how well it works that way and how fair it is, they'll kind of calm down. I hope, at least. I agree with one of the posters on the MMO Champion forums about this topic when he said it's simply selfish to accept the freedom to leave at any time in a raid, but then never accept being called upon to finish an already in progress raid. It doesn't make sense to take and take and take and never contribute when you're playing with a lot of other people and you're getting matched up with random groups of people. Just give a little. It's not gonna hurt that bad. So it has not gone unnoticed that Blizzard has recently purchased the domain Project Blackstone. They've also registered warcraftbattles.com. There's been a lot of questions arising. So is this gonna be for like a Diablo project? Are we getting information about Titan? What's the progress? What's the status? We must know. One thing I haven't seen on the forums, I didn't read all of the comments where they're talking about it. It's basically a whole section where they're talking about, what do you think is going to happen? It's almost like a game show. People are talking about, what they think is going to happen. One thing I didn't see is, could it possibly be them preparing a domain for the World of Warcraft movie? Maybe? I don't know if they would do that for the movie. Or if they would just put that stuff on the World of Warcraft site and put it in a little section. I don't know. Anyways, could it be about Titan? Could it be about Diablo? Could it be them protecting their name because the name of one of the domains was Warcraft Battles that expired. And they're like, ooh, we need that because that pertains to us and our game. So leave me a comment in the comment section telling me what you think about the matter. Should be a little bit easier to get ready for raiding because scenarios have been buffed up a little bit. When you do a random scenario, you should now get a greater cache of treasures, which has new and improved item level gear. It's not a guarantee that you will get a 476 or 463 piece from these caches, but the rate of getting those has increased significantly. That's good. They're buffing scenarios, making them more useful. If I go on a random heroic spree, I like to do one scenario because to get the maximum amount when you do the first one for the day, I believe it's 40 Valor. I like to do one at least in the midst of doing random heroics. The Brawlers Guild is not an exception to the cross realm zones because there's so few people with invitations right now. Keep in mind that they will probably be changing that when more people have invitations. But right now, they don't want just a handful of people in there. They want it to feel alive and they want it to be busy. Hopefully it doesn't get too overpopulated, but they don't want it to be totally dead either. So when more and more people get invitations, then they might take the cross-realm zoning out of Brawlers Guild. For those of you that are planning on farming your blood-soaked invitations, it is said that you may want to think twice because they've come up with about a 2.5% drop rate. However, I know a guy that got one off of a rare spawn. Vast was very lucky, so I wouldn't count on it, but if you're not too concerned with going in there right away, farm rare spawns. See how long it takes you. Mining and herb node spawn rates have been lowered by about 50%. Makes perfect sense. Everyone that I know has bags overloading with the stuff, especially herbs. I haven't heard the comments about the ore so much as the herbs, but they were too abundant, so they cut them in half. They just wanted to be more valued. Just accept what is. I frankly agree. I was seeing herb nodes everywhere on my druid, and there's no way I would have the bag space to pick up every single one. So that is my show for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thanks those of you that showed up to my stream and come every Friday. I stream every Friday, especially if we're raiding. If we don't raid, there's a chance I won't, but I will tweet whether I am streaming or not. Speaking of tweeting, add me on Twitter, add me on Twitch TV, And I do have a Facebook as well. Definitely subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know in the comments section why you liked or disliked this video. I appreciate the feedback, and I will see you guys again, maybe sooner, but at least by Wednesday. All right? Love you all. Bye-bye.